Today I'm trying out the SP-404 Mark II as an external sequencer. And we're going to get into it as soon as I shout out today's patron. And that patron shout out goes to Austin Jenkins. Thank you so very much for the support. Once again, we are back at the SP-404 Mark II, and I'm continuing learning/teaching what I have learned about this awesome piece of hardware. As you can see, we also have the Mini Freak back today. However, the Mini Freak isn't going to be the focus of today's video. Instead, like the title suggests, I am finally going to be figuring out how to use the 404 Mark II as an external MIDI sequencer to sequence the Mini Freak. So I've got this very simple monophonic synth pulled up here. It's called vocode lead because if I turn on the vocoder, but if I turn off the vocoder, it's a pretty cool sounding lead, and it should be really easy to hear that we're sequencing it. So I have never attempted this on the SP-404 Mark II before. I do know that originally you had to actually have samples in pad slots to sequence, even external MIDI. And then I believe in the 404 update, they made it so you could sequence empty blank sample pads, which we actually used in a video a couple weeks ago to sequence a blank pattern, like a dummy pattern. So I'm going to go into Utility and System here and go to the MIDI tab and see here, Sequencer Note Out. I want to turn that on. Pad Note Out, I think I want to turn that on as well. I've also got the MIDI mode set to type B, and then the 5 and 6 split. So what that means is all of the first letter banks here are going to be on channel 5. So banks A, B, C, D, and E are all going to be on channel 5, and then banks F, G, H, I, and J are all going to be on channel 6. So on the Mini Freak, I'm going to go Shift and Sound Edit to get to Utility, go to MIDI, Input Channel. I'm going to set it to channel 6. And if I go to bank F, just like that, I'm already sequencing it. So you have to be on the second page of each bank because, again, that's channel 6. And that's what I set the Mini Freak to. And it's just chromatic. And there's proof that we are indeed controlling the Mini Freak. Cool, well that was easy. Okay, let's see if we can record this way. So I'm going to go to bank A and hit record, and then maybe count in for 2 measures, and try to go to bank J and play something. But that stops it from counting in, doesn't it? So no, maybe I can't do it that way. What if we go resample? Let's see, it's going to count us in here. Whoop. Okay, then I hit record, back to pad A. Okay, it put it over here on bank J. I don't want that. I want to put it on something on bank A. This is not making a ton of sense, probably. Okay, you can control it that way. Obviously, the Mini Freak has a keyboard, so I'd rather just play it. But you can use the SP-404 to control a synth and sample it using resample. It's just a little bit wonky. Cool. Interesting. I wonder how it works with actually sequencing though. So let's go to record a pattern. Before we do that though, I'm going to go Utility, System, General, or Click rather, and Output Assign on so we can hear the click through the main outs. Let's try and sequence a pattern here. Just put it here on pattern slot 1. Strength will go max, 2 bars is fine. Now go to a different bank. Okay. Interesting. That was pretty easy, actually. Just like that, we are controlling the Mini Freak via the sequencer. That was not recorded audio. I wonder if I set this to poly, if we can play it polyphonically. So we'll go to a secondary bank. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. Nice. Yeah, okay, this is way easier than I thought it would be. Does chromatic mode work? No. I don't honestly know how I was expecting that to work, but it does not. There might be some things I'm missing here, but this seems pretty simple on the surface, actually. So we could, you know, just sequence a phrase here. So that's E. Set this back to mono. Yeah, let's try to sequence something like that. Okay, we'll go pattern select, record. We'll put it right here. We'll go, I don't know, like 140-ish. Yeah, that's fine. Now I need to hit record, turn on external source. Okay, we can let it keep playing now. Let's go to bank G and play. Nice. Okay, we are now successfully sequencing the Mini Freak. Yeah. Now we could load in some drums. So I accidentally just loaded my kick drum into bank G, which is also the first note of our sequence. I meant to put it into bank A, so I'm going to hit exchange, pad G13 for bank A13, exchange it, but unfortunately I went and deleted it from the sequencer. So we lost that initial E of our pattern because that was also where I sequenced that there. So I'm going to start this. Hit record. Now go to bank G and play this again. There we go. Now I can go bank A. Oh, did I mess it up? I think I did. Okay, so this is not an ideal way to use the 404 Mark II, certainly not. And I'd be interested also in using it with an external MIDI controller, like sequencing the notes into the sequencer via a controller, and then using that data to sequence something else externally. Let's try this again. Oh man. Alright, I'm erasing all of that. Okay. Let's see how that did. There, that's better. And now that audio is just coming in on the input bus, right? Because remember, we're just sending MIDI to the Mini Freak. We're still just hearing the Mini Freak there. So we could run the Mini Freak audio through something. How about an amp sim? That sounds fun. Let's go ahead and start it. Yeah, cool. That massive chorus. Yeah. some silly fun to be had there for sure. But yeah, okay, using the 404 Mark II as an external sequencer isn't impossible. It's also not the smoothest experience, clearly. I'm sure with practice I could get it where it felt somewhat smooth. I think it just gets added to the list of things the SP-404 Mark II can do. Not necessarily well, but it's just another feature that kind of rounds it out. My application for this is going to be, I think, twofold. I think I'm going to have it trigger the MIDI input pitch correction on my Boss VE500 for vocals. I can actually send MIDI data to that, and it controls the pitch of my voice, just to help clean it up a bit. And then I'm also going to use a MIDI note out on channel 5, so probably way down in bank E. I'll probably do this note right here, and that is going to trigger the lighting software that I use via the Entech DMX USB Pro, I believe it's called. And I use QLC Plus for my lighting, and that's going to be able to trigger the lighting software to just jump to the next cue. Normally I have to manually trigger those, but I'm going to be able to put these into patterns when I sequence out my set, and that is going to be really handy to have just automatically taken care of. So look forward to a video on that in the future, and look forward to a video dealing with the VE500 and external MIDI paired with the 404 Mark II. I'm sure we're going to want like a key step or a proper controller to program that. That should be an interesting one for sure. Anyway, I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.